Hey everybody, Rambles here, and welcome back to World of Warcraft Season of Discovery and our Human Paladin. Today we're starting things off in Tanarus, and today we have a little bit of an equipment change. We were gifted Kang the Decapitator. That's right, the Decapitator. Not Kang the Despondent or any other words that start with DE, but quite possibly the best leveling axe in the game. Not sure when or if we'll be able to even replace this on the road to 60. So yeah, pretty great. Thank you, Mitash, for the excellent weapon. I'm looking forward to carving into some turtles today over on the coast. We are in the queue for Zul'Farrak. And while we're in queue, I'm gonna head over to the coast. We can grab, well, we have the pirate quest, but we can work our way down killing turtles for turtle meat. And eventually we can head into the pirate cove. Kind of hoping we get an invite, but I've been in the queue for a couple minutes. I did fly up to Theramore and trained all of our abilities. Unfortunately, that did not include another rank of Holy Light. But we got some rank ups of some other things, and we also got a Hammer of Wrath. So now I gotta figure out how that fits in. This is a hammer that strikes an enemy for holy damage, only usable on enemies that have 20% or less health. So it's an execute phase type deal. And I'm pretty sure there's some runes that affect this. I don't know if those are runes that we want to swap out. But we should probably have a look. Yeah, right here. This would be a wrist. Right now in the wrist, we are reducing the cooldown of exorcism by 50%. We're not using Holy Wrath at all, which, yeah, maybe we should be. I think Holy Wrath is supposed to be like some free AoE. And to be honest, I don't even have it out of my Vara. I haven't hit that button a single time. If we switch over to Improved Hammer of Wrath is now instant. And the cooldown is reset each time it damages an enemy. I think we go with this. I think that's what I want to do. Especially since we've gone so far without using Holy Wrath. That would have been an interesting button to have out, perhaps, in AoE situations. But yeah, we're gonna go with that for now. So let's take a look at our axe skill for two-handed axe, because yeah, we have to get that leveled up too. You know, it's not bad. It's 129 out of 225. That's not terrible. It's not as bad as our mace skill. I hope we never have to equip a mace, because we just have no mace skill to speak of. We did get another rank of Blessing of Might. We got another rank of a couple of our bubbles. But yeah, I think the biggest thing was the addition of Hammer of Wrath. All talent points are spent, thankfully. So we are good to go. Oh, look at this. Okay, so here's the question. When I look at Purifying Power, it says that it reduces the cooldown on Exorcism and Holy Wrath by 50%. And Holy Wrath can now be cast at any target and will stun undead and demons. Why did it affect Exorcism? Why is it that now I can't use Exorcism on the turtle? Because this doesn't say anything about allowing Exorcism to hit other targets. Just Holy Wrath. So the assumption is that I'm still supposed to be able to use this. Maybe it's a rank issue? So confusing. I've had a couple of issues with this. Yeah, I got a new rank. Somebody mentioned that they had to log out and log back in for this to work properly. I'm gonna log out and log back in and see if that fixes it. If it doesn't, we can re-equip that rune, but I don't think I should need that rune to target non-demon, non-undead with Exorcism. Because that rune doesn't say anything about doing that for Exorcism, only for Holy Wrath. Oh, I don't know. Rune problems, I guess. Just absolute rune problems. Let's see. It's working now. Yeah, it's just something happens when you learn a new rank of Exorcism. It stops being able to be cast on non-demon, non-undead targets. And apparently all you have to do is log out and log back in. They should really, like, figure out how to fix bugs like that. That's a fairly significant semi-game breaking bug if you're just trying to play the class. Okay, that being said, oh, you know what? We were also gifted a bunch of elixirs. And the ones that we can currently use, I put those out on the bar, so we might as well pop these. We got Mage Blood, regenerate 12 mana per 5. Superior Defense, armor by 450. And then Elixir of Giants, increase your strength by 25. Try to keep those up as well, whenever we can. Let's see what's going on with the queue here. Lots of DPS, a couple of healers. We don't have any tanks. Which is kind of shocking, because I feel like with the inclusion of rogue tanks, and especially the inclusion of warlock tanks, you'd think you'd see a lot more people who wanted the tank and just like practice it at low levels and see what it's like. But the opposite seems to be true. We just don't have any tanks. It's kind of like, what else could Blizz do, you know? They gave us, like, overall we got 3 new tank specs. Shaman have a real tank build, Warlocks have a tank build now, and Rogues have a tank build. There's not a lot else they can do to incentivize people to play tanks. They gave dual wield at level 40, so by this point people should be able to have dual wield, so even if you don't want to level as a tank, you'd think we would have people who just wanted to experiment with it, at least check it out on those classes where it's like new and unique. Kind of surprised at that. That's a big problem. I know that some people aren't going to like this, but I think that Season of Discovery would work just fine with the automatic queue system that they use in Cataclysm. I think that with the speed of leveling in SOD, I think that if we had the automatic queue system where we just go in the queue, it groups us, it teleports us to the dungeon, or we do the run, I think you would see a lot more players inside interacting with low-level dungeons. I think a lot of what puts people off is the travel time, because you're able to level up so quickly. When you spend 30 minutes traveling, that's like a level or 2 levels you could have got if you'd have just stayed where you were at and not done the dungeon. So I think if you eliminate that, you just let us queue up, bring us to the dungeon, let us do the run, and then let us go back to doing what we were doing. I think that'd be huge for SOD. I think you'd see like a huge uptick in the activity in these low-level runs. And I don't think people say that would take people out of the world. SOD has already done so much to take people like out of the questing experience. The most efficient way to level up is to do the incursions, I think. And that already takes people out of the normal leveling world. So I think having instant dungeons, like dungeons that teleport you to, teleport you out, I think that would fit in this version of WoW. I hope it's something that they consider in the future. We would have been able to do a lot more dungeons. You know, we out-leveled so many dungeons just because of the pace we're moving at, and we're not even going super fast, you know? I feel like we're still having like a relatively chill leveling journey, but you just get out of the range for certain dungeons pretty quickly. You get into a good flow of questing, and before you know it, it's like, okay, not even a big reason to do the run anymore. But if we could queue up while we were questing, and just keep questing and then catch our queue and teleport in like we do when we level up in Cataclysm, then we would do a lot of dungeons. And I think that'd be a fun inclusion to the season. I say season, I should say that would be a great inclusion to this game type. So I think we're beyond just thinking it's a seasonal thing that's going to be here now and go away later. And the cool thing is, if you do the automated queue system, you can do things like the loot bags for filling a role that's not, there's not a lot of people filling the role. So like if you queued up as a tank, you can get an additional loot bag. Maybe it's a handful of gold, maybe it's a loot. But then you also have a way to incentivize people to queue up as tank, to queue up as heal, depending on what the population's like and what's needed. Without that, you really don't have like any Any way to incentivize people? Do we have all of the quests? Yeah, Stoli Shipment, Sea Pirates, and the hats. Yeah, I think it would be okay for us to work our way down to the Pirate Cove. I think that'd be okay, because I really don't know if we're going to get a group today. If I come across like a decent one-hander and shield, like I don't mind tanking. It's just right now I don't think I have the equipment for it. I got a level 26 shield and a level 26 one-hander. I don't think I can take these into ZF and perform well at all. I think that's just gonna hurt the group that goes in with me more than it helps anything at all. But if I get something relevant, maybe I can look on the auction house, because I wouldn't mind tanking it. It's like ZF is really straightforward. And I feel like on this Paladin build, I'm not going to have a lot of problems holding threat. And if I do have a problem holding threat, then it'll probably be fine. But yeah, we'll see. Today I'm going to try to stay in as DPS and just see if we can get a group as DPS, and we'll learn a lot after today, you know. We'll know what to expect. This weapon's going to be amazing once we actually start hitting with it, I swear. Yeah, it's going to be really good. I didn't really go over the stats. I actually sold the old sword. I should have kept the sword and gone over the stats with you guys, but suffice to say, it's an enormous upgrade over what we were using. You know, we were using a blue two-handed sword from like 10 levels ago that was pretty freaking good, actually, but to go from a blue two-hander to an epic level 44, it's quite a jump, so we'll start to really feel that as soon as we can hit anything. And I should probably just focus on fighting the turtles until my skill is higher without going into the Pirate Cove right now. Those guys are going to be a little bit of a higher level, and there's some situations we can get into. So we want to be hitting before we go in. I realize now we need to get another King the Decapitator on our melee hunter. How sweet would that be? can see who does more DPS. It's probably the hunter. The hunter actually probably would do more DPS if they both had the same weapon. And they were both at the same level, then I think the hunter would out DPS the pally. So we've seen some wild crits on the hunter. This may be the first time I've used Kang the Decapitator. I really can't remember if we've ever equipped this before. I don't think we have. It's also enchanted with +9 weapon damage, which makes it more amazing. Chance on hit to wound the target, causing them to bleed for 560 over 30 seconds. I don't know that I've seen that proc yet, but then again, we haven't been hitting with it yet. We'll probably see it more in the future. So many healers, so many people willing to heal and nobody willing to tank. Is there a problem with tanks in SOD? Is there a problem with their power while leveling up? I'm trying to think of like why there would be literally no tanks. Sometimes in hardcore I understand nobody wants to tank because, you know, you're kind of responsible for the group, and as the tank you're likely to die if anything goes wrong in the run. But there's plenty of tanks in Anniversary. So I wonder what it is here that's stopping people from rolling tank. This guy just came over and started attacking me. I didn't do anything to him. He must have social aggroed. You don't often see a non-aggressive mob social aggro like that. That's interesting. I was even making sure not to hit Divine Storm, make sure that like no AoE went off, and he still just sauntered over and started attacking us. Yeah, having the double Hammer of Wrath is nice. When the first one doesn't kill him. Yeah, I feel like just working on the turtles until we get this skilled up is a better idea. We're getting there. It's not awful. The other thing is I haven't even seen any groups forming up in the queue. You know how like you'll see like a healer and a few DPS or a couple DPS in a group together? I haven't seen any groups actually begin to form up. Interesting. I won't mind, like, if we can't do a lot of dungeons leveling up, I won't mind, so long as we can actually pug raids once we're 60. So long as we can actually pug, like, the level 65-man content to get us into those raids, then I won't mind as much. But it would suck to get to 60 and then just not be able to do any group content. So I'm hoping there will be a way to get the gear we need to do some pug raids. Oh my god, look at that. That's the first group I've seen actually start to form up. I wish them luck. They already have a pally, so we probably will not be in that group. See, these things do have a little bit of social aggro. And it doesn't have a big range, but it has a big enough range, unless they're calling for help. But if they were calling for help, we would see some kind of emote. Some kind of text. This guy is killing all my turtles, and I really don't appreciate it, because he is a much higher level than me. Alright, let's go off into the wilderness this way. And we'll go around the mountains here and see if there's anything out here we can fight. Unfortunately, you know, I was leveling up the axe and getting the turtle meat off the turtles. We have over 2 stacks of turtle meat. Whenever I find a fire, we can cook this stuff. And get some skill ups. It's kind of a good thing we didn't find a group right away, because with just this axe, I'm not hitting enough to be useful. And I definitely already sold the 2-handed sword we were using, so nothing to revert back to in this case. But these turtles are obviously a popular spot. Well, we got invited to a group. Now we still have that little problem of not having a lot of weapon skill. Alright, looks like we should be ready to begin this roller coaster ride any second now. The important thing for us is going to be to remember to loot. That's going to be the challenge of the dungeon for us, is to loot everything. We need 20 of the troll temper, we need 5 scarab shells. And we're looking for a couple tablets, which are going to be things we got to click on somewhere inside of here, I think. Maybe they're pickups, but they might be clickables. Alright, so the tablets are going to be things we pick up off bosses. Not things we click on the ground like I thought. And obviously I have no inventory space. Because why would I have inventory space? That'd be too much to hope for. And he dropped the Lifeblood Amulets. 50 armor, 13 stamina. We're giving up strength on that, but I'm gonna roll on it. And I'm gonna equip it. Because we're only giving up a little bit of strength, and armor and stam are definitely things that we need. Especially if we end up tanking any of these dungeons, which it seems like we might eventually end up doing. We can find a decent one-hander in here, and if I only had to shop for a shield, that'd be great. Because then we can just queue up as tank, you know? Oh wait, there's a tablet right here. Okay, we don't need whatever that is. surprisingly, even with a level 60 in here, we're still getting okay XP. Obviously, it's not amazing, but we're still getting 225 a kill. Which at the rate we're killing is pretty good. We will probably hit level 46 just from the kill XP, and then we'll have some of the quests to turn in.
Sands consume you.
And he dropped green cloth gloves, the Jumanza grips. I feel like he drops those basically every time. And we did hit level 46. So that's great. Let's see. Yeah, I think we're just like, I'm gonna have to do a respec, but for now I'm just gonna pop it into protection spec.
Let the executions begin.
I'm not sure if maybe we didn't bug it out. Sometimes when you kill this event too fast or you pull all of it too efficiently, it bugs out. But then again, it might just be on some kind of timer. But I've definitely had this bug out in the past and like not spawn the boss. Maybe we're just waiting for the next wave to spawn in. Oh, there we go. I panicked too soon. We were just waiting for the next wave. Alright, that was fun. He dropped a cloth helmet, 24 int. Damage done by shadow spells up to 14. That's cool for a shadow priest, or even maybe a warlock. At least the priest is getting some gear, man. He got the cloth gloves, he got the helmet. That's a pretty good run for somebody to come out with 2 new blue pieces of gear.
Hey there. Have a good one.
And let's see, this guy dropped leather, strength, agility, stamina. Strength, agility, stamina. I mean, the hunter rolled on it. I'm not going to take this over the hunter. If no one needed that, I would roll on it because it would be better than what I have. But I just feel like a jerk rolling on it over a hunter who actually wears leather right now, you know? And there we go. That's the second tablet for the other quest. So that's it. That's all the quests that we have. We don't have the quest for this guy, unfortunately. I think that it picks up in the Shimmering Flats. And we rarely ever get to kill that guy, so I just didn't have the quest. But that's okay. We'll probably do this one at least once more. So maybe we'll get lucky next time. Wow. Somebody shared the quest at the last moment. That's hilarious. There we go. Now we got them all done. Guess we're done. That's everything. That is everything. And yeah, you know what? It was pretty good. I was very hesitant to have a level 60. That was the first time I've ever done one of these higher level dungeons with a level 60. And, you know, I kind of worried that it would nerf all of the kill XP, and it didn't. It didn't nerf all the kill XP. Obviously, like, it negates some of the challenge, but it was a fun time. Mitosh, I really appreciate you taking. Everybody else, thank you very much for being in the group. I really appreciate being able to come in here and smoothly get these quests completed, so that was great. And yeah, I'm going to take us back to the inn. I'm going to park us there for now, get some rested XP. And I will see you guys again very soon. Thank you so much for being here. As always, take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you back in Azeroth very soon. Bye for now.